Hello and welcome. Today, we've got such a great story for you. It's filled with friendship, a little bit of mystery, and a whole lot of adventure. It's all about the Gopi's great search for Krishna, and it all kicks off with a simple question. I want you to imagine this for a second. You're playing, you're laughing, having the absolute best time with your friends. And then, all of a sudden, poof, your best friend is just gone. How would that feel? Pretty sad, right? Maybe a little confusing, or even worried? Well, that is exactly what happened to a group of friends called the Gopis. They were having this incredible, joyful dance with their dearest friend Krishna. And then, right in the middle of all the fun and laughter, he vanished. Just disappeared into thin air. And just like that, everything changed. The Gopis felt so sad. They felt like a group of elephants that had lost their brave leader in the forest. All they could think about were memories of Krishna. His jokes, his smiles, the way he looked at them. It really felt like he had just reached in and stolen their hearts. But they weren't going to just stand around being sad. No way! They missed him way too much for that. So, with their hearts just bursting with love, they decided they had to find him. And that, my friends, is when their great search began. Their adventure took them deep into the amazing forest of Vrindavana. And they started asking for help from, well, pretty much everyone and everything they saw. Oh, this is the perfect time for our very first Sanskrit story word. The forest in our story is called Vanam. Can you try saying that? Vanam. It's this beautiful, magical forest where our whole story unfolds. So the Gopis were so determined, they started talking to the forest itself. First, they went up to these huge, old, wise-looking trees and called out, "Oh, mighty trees, have you seen the son of Nanda? The one who stole our hearts with just a smile?" Then they found a tulasi plant, and they knew Krishna loved tulasi. So they pleaded with it, saying, "Oh, beautiful tulasi, you're so special to Krishna's feet. Please, have you seen Lord Achyuta anywhere?" And they didn't stop there. Oh, no. They asked the sweet-smelling jasmine flowers, the tall mango trees, all the different plants growing by the river. They asked every single one, "Please, just give us a hint. Tell us which way Krishna went." Now, while they were searching, they were thinking about Krishna so much that they started to do something really fun. They started acting out all of his amazing adventures. It turned into this giant game of make-believe. One Gopi pretended she was baby Krishna. Another one acted like she was kicking a big, scary cart demon. Some of them played being Krishna and his brother Balarama, goofing around with their friends. One even acted out lifting the gigantic Govardhana hill. They were so into these games, and it was all because they were keeping Krishna right there in their hearts. Playing these games helped them feel close to Krishna, but they still hadn't actually found him. And then they saw something real, a clue, right there in the dirt. It's time for another Sanskrit story word. This one is padani. Let's say it together. Pa-da-ni. And these padani, these footprints, were the most important clue yet. You see, these weren't just any old footprints. The Gopis knew they belonged to Krishna because they had these amazing special marks on them, like a tiny flag, a lotus flower, and a thunderbolt. It had to be him. They were finally on the right track. But as they followed his footprints, they noticed something else. It wasn't just one set of tracks. There were two. Someone else was walking right next to him, and their hearts just sank a little. They realized Krishna hadn't left by himself. He had chosen one special Gopi to go with him, and he left all of them behind. They felt happy for their friend, for sure, but also a little bit sad that it wasn't them. But hold on, the mystery wasn't over. As they kept following the path, the second set of footprints just vanished. Only Krishna's were left. And the Gopis figured it out. Their friend must have gotten tired, and Krishna, because he's so kind, must have lifted her up to carry her. And this is where the story teaches all of us a really important lesson. A lesson about something called pride. Let's find out what happened to that one lucky Gopi who was being carried by Krishna himself. So, as Krishna was carrying her, this Gopi started to feel, well, a little too special. She started thinking, wow, I must be the best of all women. And that little bit of pride made her say something a bit bossy. She said, Krishna, I'm tired. You have to carry me now. And Krishna just calmly said, okay, climb on my shoulder. And then, poof, he disappeared from her too. And in a flash, she was all alone. All that pride she felt just melted away, and she was left with this big, empty sadness. She cried out, Ha, Natha! Oh, my dear friend, where are you? Please, please come back. Show yourself to your poor servant. But don't you worry, she wasn't alone for long, because the other gopis, who were still following those footprints, were just about to find her. And they did. They found their friend looking so lost and unhappy. And when she told them what happened, they were all completely amazed. And right then, together, they all understood the lesson. Their love for Krishna needed to be humble and pure, not proud. It was getting dark, so the gopis decided to stop searching through the forest. They were all back together, and their minds were still just completely, totally full of Krishna. So full, in fact, they forgot all about going back to their own homes. Instead, they went to the bank of the Yamuna River and decided to search for him in a new way, not with their feet, but with their voices. And together, they started to sing, hoping that their beautiful song of love would call him back. And you know, their beautiful song makes you think, doesn't it? If you could sing a song for a friend that you missed so much, what would you sing about? What special memories would you put into your song to bring them back? That's a fun thing to imagine. Thanks so much for joining me today.